Heading to his wedding reception, the millionaire entered a mall and saw his ex with a little boy that shocked him. "Hi, my beautiful family. Welcome back to Mr. Peter's Family, your very own family story channel. May the Almighty bless every woman with unshakable strength, endless wisdom, and a heart that radiates love and light. May she be honored for every sacrifice, every smile that lifts her family, and every silent struggle she bears without complaint. May her dignity shine brighter than the stars, her courage move mountains, and her spirit inspire generations. May the women who nurture, protect, and empower be celebrated, respected, and cherished beyond measure. May every home she touches overflow with peace and joy. May her health, happiness, and dreams be guarded and multiplied. May she walk without fear, speak with confidence, and be lifted in every step by divine grace. For she is the backbone of families, the light of communities, and the heart of humanity itself. If your heart is true, like the video. If your love is real, write, "I am with Mr. Peter." Nathan Tye had perfected the art of lying to himself. Sitting in the back of his Bentley, adjusting his bow tie for the third time, he told himself that tightness in his chest was just wedding nerves. Normal. Expected. Every groom felt this way before walking into a reception with 400 guests waiting to celebrate a marriage that would merge two real estate empires and make headlines across the country. The lie tasted bitter. "Mr. Tye, we're running behind schedule," his driver Marcus said. "Your best man has called 6 times." Nathan stared out the tinted window at afternoon traffic. Somewhere in the Grand Marquis Hotel, Brooke Ashford was probably pacing in her designer gown, her father Sterling checking his watch, photographers capturing fake candid moments. The thought made Nathan's stomach turn. "Take the mall route," Nathan heard himself say. "Cut through Westfield." "Sir, that'll add time. I need air. Just do it." The Bentley pulled into the shopping complex Nathan hadn't visited in years. Not since Hope used to drag him there, laughing at his complaints, making him try ridiculous hats, stealing kisses between stores. Hope. 5 years hadn't erased her face. Those dark eyes that saw through every defense, that smile that made him feel like he'd won something precious. His phone vibrated. "Lucas, where are you? Brooke is losing it." Nathan typed back, "10 minutes." Another lie. He stepped into the mall's artificial brightness, needing to breathe air that wasn't recycled, to delay the inevitable moment when he'd promise forever to a woman he respected but didn't love. A woman who wasn't Hope Powell. He was passing the main atrium when he saw her. Hope Powell stood near the fountain 30 feet away, wearing a tailored navy pantsuit that screamed money. Her hair was pulled back elegantly, diamond earrings catching light. A designer bag hung from her shoulder, but that wasn't what shocked Nathan, frozen. Hope was crouched down, eye level with a little boy who couldn't have been more than 5 years old. The child wore a private academy uniform, crisp white shirt, navy sweater with embroidered crest. He was animated, small hands gesturing wildly as he told Hope something that made her throw her head back and laugh. That laugh. God, Nathan had spent 5 years trying to forget that sound. The boy turned slightly, and Nathan's world tilted sideways. The child had Nathan's face. Not similar. The boy was Nathan at that age. Same dark eyes, same dimple in the left cheek, same crooked smile. Even from this distance, the resemblance was impossible to miss. Nathan's legs moved without permission, carrying him 3 steps closer before his brain caught up. His heart slammed against his ribs. That boy was his son. He knew it with absolute certainty. A man approached them, tall, confident, mid-30s, wearing expensive casual clothes. He handed Hope a coffee, ruffled the boy's hair with easy affection, said something that made them both smile. The 3 of them looked like a family. Hope's face was radiant. She looked successful, powerful, happy. Nothing like the devastated woman Nathan had destroyed 5 years ago. This Hope had rebuilt herself into something extraordinary without him. The boy grabbed the man's hand, tugging him toward a store. Hope stood, smoothing her pantsuit, and that's when her gaze swept across the atrium. Their eyes met. Nathan waited for recognition, for shock, for something. But Hope's expression remained neutral, politely blank, the way you'd look at a stranger. For 3 heartbeats she stared, then she turned away, took the boy's other hand, and walked toward the exit. Like Nathan was nobody. Nathan stood paralyzed as shoppers flowed around him. That boy was his son. Hope had been pregnant when he'd destroyed their relationship. She'd carried his child, raised him alone, built a life that looked infinitely better than anything Nathan had created, and he'd known nothing. His phone erupted with calls, the wedding coordinator having a meltdown, 400 guests waiting. Nathan turned and walked back to the car. The drive to the hotel took 15 minutes. Nathan spent them replaying the scene on endless loop. That dimple, those eyes, a son. He had a son. The Grand Marquis loomed ahead. Nathan walked through the marble lobby like a man heading to execution. Lucas intercepted him at the ballroom doors. "Where the hell have you been? Brooke is ready to—" "Nathan, what's wrong?" "I need to make an announcement." "What?" "Get them quiet, now." Something in Nathan's voice made Lucas step back. 2 minutes. Nathan waited while Lucas disappeared into the ballroom. Music cut off. Lucas's voice over the microphone, polite laughter, expectant silence. Nathan walked into a room full of chandeliers and champagne and 400 faces. Brooke stood at the front in her wedding gown, expression cycling from relief to fury. Nathan walked to the microphone. His hands were steady as he pulled it from the stand. "Thank you all for coming," he said. "I know this isn't how these things usually go, but I need to tell you something now, before this goes any further." "Nathan," Brooke stepped closer, voice urgent. "What are you doing?" He looked at her. Brooke was beautiful, accomplished, perfect on paper, everything his father Raymond wanted, everything that made sense. She wasn't Hope. "This wedding was a mistake," Nathan said into the microphone. The ballroom erupted. Gasps, shocked exclamations, chairs scraping. Brooke's face went white, then red. Sterling was already moving toward the stage. "I'm sorry, Brooke. You deserve someone who loves you the way you deserve. That's not me. I thought I could make this work. I thought 5 years was enough time to move on. But I was lying to myself and to you." "You're doing this now?" Brooke's voice cracked. "In front of 400 people?" "I know. But I saw something today that changed everything. Someone who reminded me of what I threw away." Sterling reached the stage. "You son of a bitch. The contracts, the merger—" "I know, sir, I'm sorry. But I can't marry your daughter to save a business deal." Nathan set down the microphone and walked off stage. The ballroom exploded behind him. He kept walking. Lucas caught up in the lobby. "Have you lost your mind?" "Maybe. This is about Hope. You never got over her." Nathan stopped. "I saw her today, Lucas, at the mall. She had a little boy. He looked exactly like me." Lucas's expression shifted from anger to shock. "You think—" "I know. I have a son. Hope had my baby and I knew nothing. How is that possible?" "I don't know, but I'm going to find out." Nathan pulled out his phone and searched. Hope Powell. The results loaded. Hope Powell, CEO of Powell Properties, self-made mogul builds $50 million empire. Article after article. Photos of Hope at galas, conferences, ribbon cuttings. In every photo she looked powerful, confident, untouchable. "She did all this without me," Nathan whispered. Lucas read over his shoulder. "Even if that kid is yours, you just blew up your life. Your father will lose his mind. The Ashford deal is dead." "I don't care." Nathan looked at his best friend. I spent 5 years convincing myself I made the right choice, that Hope was after money, that my father was protecting me. But I just saw her with our son, and she looked happy, free, and I realized something. What? I'm the one who's been in prison, not her. Nathan pulled off his bow tie. I need to find her. I need to know the truth. What if she doesn't want to see you? Then I'll deserve it. But I have to try. Nathan walked out of the Grand Marquis Hotel, leaving behind the wreckage of his wedding and the life he'd been sleepwalking through for half a decade. Find out where Hope Powell lives. I don't care what it costs. Find her. Sir, I'm just a driver. Then call someone who can. Tonight. I need an address tonight. Nathan leaned back and closed his eyes. He'd just destroyed his engagement, his business merger, probably his relationship with his father. And all he could think about was that little boy's face, those eyes that mirrored his own, that life he'd missed. I'm coming, Hope, Nathan whispered. I don't know what happened. I don't know why you disappeared, but I'm going to find out. The Bentley pulled into traffic, carrying Nathan toward a truth that would shatter everything he thought he knew, because what Nathan didn't know, what he couldn't know, was that Hope Powell had been waiting for this moment for 5 years, and nothing about their reunion would go the way he expected. Chapter 2. Hope stood in her home office staring at her phone, watching the news alerts flood in. Billionaire walks out of wedding reception. Nathan Ty abandons bride in front of 400 guests. He'd seen them. After 5 years of carefully avoiding every place Nathan might be, of building her life in a different part of the city, he'd seen her and Jason at that mall. And just like she'd planned, it had destroyed him. Mom? Her brother Dante appeared in the doorway. Tyler just called. He said Nathan walked out of his wedding. It's all over social media. Hope set down her phone. I know. Hope, did you plan this? Hope didn't answer. Instead, she pulled out a file from her desk drawer. Inside were photos, documents, a timeline spanning 5 years. What is that? Dante asked. Insurance, evidence, proof. Hope's voice was cold. Everything I've done since Nathan destroyed me has been leading to this moment. Dante stared at his sister. What are you talking about? Hope walked to the window, watching the city lights. You want to know the truth? The real truth? Nathan didn't just abandon me when I was pregnant. He did something worse. What could be worse? He got me pregnant on purpose. Dante went very still. What? That last month before he destroyed us. We were using protection every single time except one night. One night when Nathan insisted we didn't need it. When he was particularly persuasive about wanting to feel closer to me. I thought it was romantic. It wasn't. He sabotaged the condom. How do you know? Because 3 days after he broke up with me, I found a receipt in his jacket pocket. He'd bought pregnancy tests, multiple boxes, a week before I even knew I was pregnant. He knew, Dante. He was testing to see if his plan worked. Dante's face went pale. Why would he do that? Because his father told him to. Raymond wanted insurance, a grandchild that would tie me to the family, make it harder for me to walk away if things went south. Nathan was young, stupid, and desperate to prove himself to his father. So he did it. But then he broke up with you anyway. Because I found out about the connection between our fathers before Nathan's plan could play out. When Raymond told Nathan about Dennis Powell, Nathan panicked. Thought I'd discovered his scheme, so he went nuclear, accused me of being a gold digger to cover his own manipulation. Classic projection. Hope turned from the window. I spent 5 years thinking Nathan destroyed me out of cowardice, that he believed his father's lies because he was weak. Then I hired a private investigator last year. Found out the truth. Nathan didn't just fail me. He deliberately tried to trap me. Jesus Christ, Hope. So I made a plan. A long, careful, patient plan. I built my empire not just out of spite, but as a weapon. I made myself powerful enough that when Nathan finally saw what he'd lost, it would destroy him. I made myself visible at exactly the right places. That mall? I knew Nathan's wedding was today, knew he'd take that route. Tyler helped me time it perfectly. Tyler's in on this? Tyler knows everything. The man at the mall? That was Tyler, playing the role of Jason's father figure, making sure Nathan saw us as the perfect happy family, making sure it killed him. Dante sat down heavily. You've spent 5 years plotting revenge. Not revenge, justice. Nathan tried to trap me with a baby. I'm going to use that baby to trap him. Except this time, I'm in control. I'm the one pulling the strings. And by the time I'm done, Nathan Ty will have lost everything. His father, his fortune, his freedom, his future, just like he almost made me lose mine. Hope, that's... What? Cruel? He tried to impregnate me without my consent to use as leverage. He's lucky I'm not pressing charges. Her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number with an address. Marcus, Nathan's driver, sending her location like clockwork. She'd paid him well over the years to be her inside man. He's coming here. Tonight. What are you going to do? Hope smiled, and it was nothing like the warm smile she gave Jason. This smile was ice. I'm going to give him exactly what he wants. Access to his son. Supervised visits. A chance to prove himself. And while he's busy playing devoted father, I'm going to systematically destroy every part of his life until he has nothing left, just like he tried to do to me. Hope, this is insane. You're not this person. You're right, I wasn't, but Nathan Ty made me into this person when he violated my consent and my trust. Now he gets to meet the monster he created. The doorbell rang. Hope checked her appearance in the mirror, pulled on the mask of the heartbroken but noble single mother, the woman who just wanted what was best for her son. Mom? Loretta appeared. There's a man at the door. Says his name is Nathan Ty. Let him in, Hope said. Then to Dante, not a word. To anyone. This stays between us. Dante looked at his sister like he didn't recognize her. What happened to you? I survived, and now I'm making sure no one ever has the power to hurt me again. Hope went downstairs. Through the window, she could see Nathan pacing on her porch. He looked desperate, broken, exactly how she'd imagined him looking 1,000 times over the past 5 years. Good. She opened the door. Nathan. Hope. They stared at each other. 5 years of silence. And underneath it all, Hope's carefully constructed plan ticking like a bomb. It's late, Hope said, her voice perfectly controlled. Whatever you want to say, make it quick. Is he mine? Hope let the silence stretch. Let Nathan suffer for 3, 4, 5 seconds before answering. Yes. She watched Nathan's face crumble, watched tears fill his eyes, watched him break exactly the way she'd broken 5 years ago when she'd discovered what he'd done, and Hope felt nothing but cold satisfaction. I have a son. You have DNA in common with a child, that's all. For the next 30 minutes, Hope performed brilliantly, the wounded woman, the protective mother, the person who just wanted what was best for Jason. She negotiated supervised visits, set boundaries, made demands, all while hiding the truth. Every word was calculated, every emotion staged, every tear fake. Because Hope Powell had learned something important in 5 years of building an empire alone, power wasn't about money or success. Power was about control, and she was about to control every single aspect of Nathan Ty's destruction. First visit is Saturday, 10 a.m. park near the house, Hope said. Nathan's relief was pathetic. Thank you for giving me this chance. After he left, Hope went upstairs to Jason's room. Her son was sleeping peacefully, clutching his stuffed dinosaur. The only real thing in her life. The only person who hadn't betrayed her. The only reason she'd survived. I'm doing this for you, Hope whispered. So you never have to be powerless like I was. So you never have to wonder if someone you love is using you. But even as she said it, Hope felt something crack inside her. A small voice asking, when did protecting her son become the same as destroying his father? Hope silenced that voice, locked it away with all the other doubts and fears and moments of weakness. She had a plan, and nothing, not Nathan's tears, not Dante's concern, not her own conscience, would stop her from seeing it through. Saturday couldn't come fast enough. Chapter 3. Nathan spent the week preparing for his first visit with Jason like a man preparing for trial. He read parenting books, researched age-appropriate toys, practiced conversations in the mirror, called his mother Colleen for advice. Just be yourself, Colleen said. Be honest, be present. That's all any child needs. But Nathan couldn't shake the feeling that he was walking into something he didn't understand. Hope's coldness, the way she'd looked at him with such controlled neutrality, like he was a stranger, or worse, like he was an opponent. Saturday morning arrived. Nathan showed up at Riverside Park 15 minutes early, paced the parking lot, checked his reflection in the car window. Hope's car pulled up exactly at 10. Jason climbed out of the back seat, wearing his dinosaur shirt and light-up sneakers. He looked uncertain, hiding slightly behind Hope's legs. "Jason, this is Nathan," Hope said, her voice warm and gentle with her son. Nothing like the ice she'd used with Nathan. "Nathan, this is Jason." Nathan crouched down. "Hi, Jason. It's nice to meet you." Jason studied him with those big eyes, Nathan's eyes. "You look like me." "You look like me," Nathan said, and his voice cracked. The first hour was awkward. Jason was shy. Nathan tried too hard. Hope watched everything with an expression Nathan couldn't read. But slowly, Jason warmed up. They talked about dinosaurs, about soccer, about school. Nathan pushed Jason on the swings and felt something in his chest break open when Jason laughed. This was his son, his child. 5 years he'd missed. 5 years he could never get back. When they went to get ice cream, Jason talked about Tyler. "He's my coach. He's really cool. He takes me and Mom to games sometimes." Nathan felt a stab of jealousy. Is he important to your mom?" Jason shrugged. "I guess. He's around a lot." Hope, sitting at the table with them, said nothing, just sipped her coffee and watched. "Mom, can Nathan come to my soccer game Wednesday?" Jason asked. Hope's hesitation was so brief Nathan almost missed it. "If Nathan wants to come." "I'd love to," Nathan said immediately. Wednesday at 4, Riverside Youth Soccer Complex. The visit ended with Jason hugging Nathan goodbye. Brief, but real. Nathan drove home feeling like he'd won something precious and terrifying all at once. That night, Lucas came over. "How'd it go?" "It was incredible. He's perfect, Lucas, smart and funny and—" "Nathan." Lucas's voice was serious. "I need to tell you something, and you're not going to like it." Nathan felt dread curl in his stomach. "What?" "I did some digging into Hope's past, into what happened after you two broke up." "Lucas, she hired a private investigator last year to investigate you and your father, spent a lot of money on it." "So? Maybe she just wanted to know what we were up to." "Nathan, the investigation wasn't just about your father. It was about you, specifically about that last month before you broke up. The investigator pulled phone records, bank statements, security footage. He was looking for something specific." Nathan's blood ran cold. "What are you talking about?" "I don't know yet, but Nathan, something feels off. The way Hope has positioned herself, the timing of you seeing her at the mall on your wedding day, Tyler being there, playing happy family. It feels staged." "You think she planned for me to see her?" "I think Hope Powell is a lot more calculating than you remember, and I think you need to be careful. She's the mother of my child. She's protecting herself. I don't blame her." "Maybe. Or maybe she's planning something else entirely." After Lucas left, Nathan sat alone in his apartment, pulled out his phone, started going through old files, old messages from 5 years ago, and found something that made his hands shake. A receipt from a pharmacy, 3 days before he'd broken up with Hope. Pregnancy tests, multiple boxes. Nathan's mind raced. Why would he have bought pregnancy tests before Hope even knew she was pregnant? He didn't remember buying them. Didn't remember. His phone rang. His father. "You walked out of your wedding. Cost me millions. What the hell is wrong with you?" "Hope had a baby, my son." Silence. Then, "I know." "You know? How long have you known?" "Since the beginning. She told me she was pregnant right after you broke up with her. Wanted money. I paid her $2 million to disappear." Nathan felt sick. "You paid her off?" "I did what was necessary. That woman was using you, just like her father tried to use me." "Her father? Dad, what really happened with Dennis Powell?" Another pause. Longer this time. "That's not relevant." "Tell me." "Fine. Dennis and I were partners. He discovered some irregularities in my accounting, threatened to expose me. I had to protect myself, protect our family, protect you. You committed fraud. You destroyed an innocent man to cover your crimes. And then you lied to me about it. Made me think Hope was after revenge when she didn't even know what you'd done. I protected you. You manipulated me. You made me destroy the woman I loved based on lies." Nathan's voice was shaking. "Did you also plant that pregnancy test receipt in my things?" Silence. "Dad, did you plant that receipt to make it look like I was trying to trap Hope?" "I did what was necessary." Nathan ended the call. His hands were shaking so hard he could barely hold the phone. His father had planted false evidence, made it look like Nathan had deliberately tried to get Hope pregnant. If Hope had found that receipt, if she'd hired an investigator who'd uncovered it, she thought Nathan had violated her consent, had tried to trap her. No wonder she looked at him with such cold fury. Nathan grabbed his keys, drove to Hope's house. It was late, but he didn't care. He pounded on the door until Hope opened it, fury on her face. "It's midnight. Jason is asleep. I didn't do it." Hope went very still. "What?" "The receipt, the pregnancy tests. My father planted them, to make it look like I was trying to trap you. Hope, I swear on everything I have I would never do that to you. Never." Hope's expression didn't change. "Get off my property. Hope, please, call my father. Confront him. He'll tell you the truth. He just admitted it to me." "I don't believe you." "Then let me prove it. Give me 1 week. 1 week to prove my father set us both up, that he's been manipulating everything from the beginning." Hope stared at Nathan for a long moment. Then, "You have until Saturday. Prove it, or you never see Jason again." She slammed the door in his face. Nathan sat in his car, mind racing. He had 7 days to prove his father had framed him. 7 days to save his relationship with his son. 7 days to convince Hope that the monster she thought he was had been his father all along. And Nathan knew exactly where to start. Chapter 4. Nathan spent the next 3 days becoming a detective. He hired a forensic accountant, a private investigator, a tech specialist. He gave them one mission: prove Raymond Ty had planted that receipt and manufactured evidence to frame Nathan. Wednesday afternoon, Nathan showed up at Jason's soccer game. Hope was already there, standing with other parents. She saw Nathan and her expression went carefully blank. Tyler was on the field coaching. He looked up, saw Nathan, and his eyes narrowed. The game started. Jason played forward. He was good. Fast, confident, aggressive. When he scored a goal, he looked at the sideline, saw both Nathan and Hope cheering, and his face lit up. After the game, Jason ran over. "Did you see my goal?" "I did. That was incredible." Tyler approached, extended his hand. "Nathan, I'm Tyler Grant." Nathan shook it. "Tyler, thanks for being there for Jason all this time. He's a great kid." Tyler's smile didn't reach his eyes. "Hope's told me a lot about you." I'm sure she has. Jason, go get your stuff, Tyler said. Then to Nathan, can I talk to you for a minute? They walked a few feet away. Tyler's friendly expression vanished. I know what you did. Hope told me everything. About the pregnancy trap, about how you tried to manipulate her. Nathan's jaw clenched. That's not what happened. Really? Because Hope has receipts, literally, evidence that you planned the whole thing. Evidence my father planted. Tyler laughed. Of course. Blame your father. Classic rich boy move. Hope hired an investigator. She found what my father wanted her to find, but it's not the truth. And what is the truth? The truth is, my father destroyed Hope's father through fraud, then manipulated both of us to make sure Hope and I never ended up together. He's been playing us from the beginning. Tyler studied Nathan. If that's true, prove it. I'm trying. I have until Saturday. And if you can't prove it, then Hope cuts me out of Jason's life, and I lose my son. Something shifted in Tyler's expression. Look, I don't like you. I think you're a privileged asshole who destroyed a good woman and is now trying to weasel your way back. But I care about that kid over there, and he's already getting attached to you. So if you're lying, if you're going to hurt him, I will make your life hell. I'm not lying. We'll see. That night Nathan's phone rang. His investigator. I found something. Your father kept a private server. Email backups going back 20 years. Most of it's encrypted, but I cracked some files. And? There's an email from 5 years ago. Your father to a guy named Derek Moss, discussing Operation Separation. Instructions on how to fabricate evidence against you. How to make it look like you'd planned to trap Hope Powell. Nathan's heart was pounding. Send me everything. There's more. Your father paid Derek Moss $3 million last year. Around the same time Hope hired her investigator. I think Derek fed Hope's investigator the fake evidence. Derek Moss. Where have I heard that name? He's Hope's CFO. Nathan felt like he'd been punched. What? Derek Moss works for Hope. Has for 3 years. He's been in her inner circle this whole time. Nathan hung up and immediately called Lucas. Lucas, I need you to dig into Derek Moss, Hope's CFO. I think he's working for my father. On it. But Nathan's mind was racing. If Derek was Raymond's plant, and Derek had access to Hope's company, her files, her plans, what else had Raymond manipulated? The investigation, Hope's hatred of Nathan, even the timing of Nathan seeing Hope at the mall. Nathan drove to his father's estate, barged past the housekeeper, found Raymond in his study. Derek Moss, how long has he been working for you? Raymond didn't even look up. Since before Hope hired him. You planted him in her company. I placed a loyal employee where he could be useful. To do what? Spy on her? Feed her fake evidence about me? Raymond finally looked at Nathan. To protect you. Hope Powell is dangerous. She's been planning something for years. Derek keeps me informed. Planning what? I don't know yet. But that woman is not the victim you think she is. She's calculating, patient, dangerous. You're paranoid. Am I? Ask yourself why Hope built her entire empire in complete secrecy, why she's been carefully positioning herself in places you'd see her, why she has a file in her office labeled with your name that she doesn't know Derek's seen. Nathan went cold. What's in the file? I don't know. Derek only saw the label. But Nathan, that woman has been preparing for something, and I think you seeing her at the mall wasn't an accident. I think she's been waiting for this moment. You're lying. You've been lying about everything. Then explain the file. Explain why she's kept detailed records of your life for 5 years. Explain why Tyler Grant, her supposed boyfriend, has no social media, no background before 3 years ago, no history. Nathan felt sick. What are you saying? I'm saying Hope Powell might be running a con. And you're the mark. Nathan left his father's estate with his mind spinning, drove home, pulled pulled up everything he could find on Tyler Grant. Raymond was right. Tyler Grant had no digital footprint before 3 years ago. No college records, no previous addresses, like he'd appeared out of nowhere. Nathan called his investigator. "I need you to run a deep background on Tyler Grant. Everything. I don't care what it costs. I'll get back to you tomorrow." Nathan couldn't sleep. Spent the night going over everything. Every interaction with Hope, every word, every expression. Had she been playing him, using his guilt and desperation to manipulate him? Or was his father manipulating him all over again, making him doubt the one person who'd never lied to him? Thursday morning, Nathan's investigator called back. "Tyler Grant is an alias. Real name is Tyler Morrison. Former actor. Worked in LA for 10 years doing bit parts and commercials. He moved here 3 years ago, right around the time Hope was looking to hire a soccer coach for Jason. An actor. Gets better. Tyler Morrison was paid $50,000 last year, deposited into an offshore account. Came from a shell company that traces back to Hope's business." Nathan felt his world tilt. Hope paid Tyler? To do what, I don't know. But whatever their relationship is, it's not romantic. It's business. Nathan drove to Hope's office, pushed past her assistant, barged into her corner office where Hope was on a phone call. She ended the call, fury on her face. "What the hell? Tyler's an actor, you paid him. This whole thing has been staged, hasn't it?" Hope's expression went carefully neutral. "Get out. The soccer coach thing, the perfect family at the mall, making sure I saw you on my wedding day, you planned all of it." I said, "Get out." Why, Hope? Why go through all this? If you hate me that much, why not just keep Jason from me completely? Because I'm not the villain you think I am. Then what are you? Hope stood up, walked to her window. For a long moment she didn't speak. Then, "You want the truth? Fine. Yes, I hired Tyler. Yes, I made sure you'd see us at the mall. Yes, I've been planning this for a long time." Nathan felt his heart break all over again. Why? Because I needed to know. I needed to see if you'd walk away from your perfect life for a son you'd never met. I needed to see if you'd choose us or choose comfort. And you did. You walked out of that wedding. You came looking for Jason. You proved something I needed you to prove. Which was what? That you're not your father. Hope turned to face Nathan, and for the first time he saw something real in her eyes. Not coldness, not calculation. Pain. "I found that receipt 5 years ago, Nathan. The pregnancy tests. I thought you'd planned to trap me. I thought everything we had was a lie. So I left, built my life, built my empire, but I also built a test, because I needed to know, was Nathan Ty a man who'd abandon his child for convenience? Or was he a man who'd fight for his son? And if I'd failed your test, then you'd have proven I was right about you all along, and I'd have raised Jason alone forever, knowing I'd dodged a bullet. But I didn't fail." "No, you didn't. You destroyed your engagement, your business merger. You've been showing up, being consistent, fighting for access to Jason even when I made it hard." Nathan stepped closer. "So what now? Was this all just a test? Are you going to tell me I passed and send me on my way?" "I don't know." Hope's voice cracked. "Because I'm still terrified, Nathan. I'm terrified that receipt was real. That you really did try to trap me. And even if your father planted it, even if everything was his manipulation, how do I ever trust you again? How do I know you won't hurt me again?" "You don't. I can't promise I'll never hurt you. But Hope, I can promise I'll never lie to you. I'll never manipulate you. And I will spend every day for the rest of my life proving I'm worthy of you and Jason." "That's not enough." "Then what is?" Hope looked at Nathan with tears streaming down her face. "I don't know. I just don't know." Nathan's phone buzzed. A text from Lucas. "Emergency. Your father is holding a press conference in an hour. Says he's announcing something about Hope and Jason. Get there now." Nathan showed Hope the text. He's going nuclear. Let him. I can handle your father. Not this. Not if he has Derek feeding him information about your company, about your plans. Hope, my father is about to burn both of us down. Hope stared at the text, then at Nathan. For 3 seconds, they stood in silence. Then Hope grabbed her car keys. Come on, we end this today. Chapter 5. Raymond Ty stood behind a podium at the Ty Corporation headquarters, cameras flashing, reporters jostling for position. Nathan and Hope burst through the doors just as Raymond began speaking. Thank you for coming. I'm here to address false allegations about my family and to reveal the truth about Hope Powell, CEO of Powell Properties. Stop, Nathan shouted from the back. Raymond's eyes narrowed. Security! I said stop. Nathan pushed through the crowd. You're not doing this. Nathan, sit down. This doesn't concern you. It concerns me completely. You've been manipulating both of us for 5 years, planting evidence, lying, destroying people to cover your own crimes. It ends now. Raymond's face went red. You have no idea what you're talking about. I have the emails, Dad, your correspondence with Derek Moss. Instructions on how to fabricate evidence against me, how to make it look like I tried to trap Hope with a pregnancy. Reporters were writing frantically, cameras swiveling between Nathan and Raymond. You're upset, emotional, you don't know what. I know you committed fraud against Dennis Powell, destroyed his company through illegal means, drove him to suicide, then spent 20 years covering it up. That man tried to destroy me. That man was your partner, your friend, and you betrayed him. Raymond looked at the reporters. My son is clearly having a breakdown. Hope stepped forward. I'm Hope Powell, Dennis Powell's daughter, and I have evidence of everything Nathan just said. Bank records, emails, testimony from former employees. My father didn't try to destroy Raymond Ty. Raymond destroyed my father to cover his own crimes. And when I fell in love with Nathan, Raymond manipulated us both to keep us apart. You can't prove. I can prove all of it. In fact, I'm filing charges tomorrow morning. Fraud, conspiracy, wire fraud. Your employees are ready to testify in exchange for immunity. It's over, Raymond. Raymond's face went white. You can't do this. I'm Nathan's father. You're a criminal, Nathan said, and you're done hurting people I love. Security was moving in. Raymond was shouting. Reporters were swarming with questions. In the chaos, Nathan grabbed Hope's hand and pulled her toward the exit. They made it to Hope's car before the press caught up. Hope was shaking as she started the engine. I can't believe we just did that, she said. We had to. He wasn't going to stop. They drove in silence for a while. Then Hope said, Derek, we need to deal with Derek. Already on it. Lucas is executing a board removal as we speak. Derek will be gone by end of day. Hope glanced at Nathan. You planned that? While you were in your office, made some calls. Lucas has been building a case against Derek for days. We just needed the right moment. Why didn't you tell me? Because I wasn't sure if you'd trust me enough to help, or if you'd think I was trying to manipulate you. Hope pulled the car over, turned to Nathan. I need you to be honest with me, completely honest. Did you buy those pregnancy tests? No, I swear on Jason's life I didn't. I would never do that to you. But you can't prove it was your father. I can't prove it definitively. But Hope, think about it. Why would I buy tests before you even knew you were pregnant? How would I even know to buy them? The timing makes no sense unless someone was planning ahead. And I wasn't planning anything. I was in love with you. I wanted to marry you. I wanted a life with you. A baby would have been amazing, but I never would have forced it. Hope studied his face, searching for lies, for manipulation, for anything that said she shouldn't trust him. She found nothing but raw honesty. I believe you, she whispered. You do? I don't want to. Every part of me that's been protecting myself for 5 years is screaming not to trust you. But I believe you. Nathan reached for her hand. So what now? Now we figure out how to be parents together, how to navigate this mess we're in, how to... Hope's phone rang. Her mother. Hope, something's wrong with Jason. He collapsed at school. I'm taking him to Mercy Hospital right now. Hope's entire world stopped. What? They think it's his heart, the same condition he had as a baby. Hope, you need to get here now. Hope dropped her phone, started the car with shaking hands. What happened? Nathan asked. Jason, hospital, his heart. Nathan grabbed the phone from where it had fallen, started giving directions. Go, I'm navigating, just drive. They made it to the hospital in 12 minutes. Hope was out of the car before it fully stopped, running through the emergency entrance. Jason Powell, she gasped at the desk. Where is he? Room 3. Down the hall on the left. Hope ran. Nathan was right behind her. Jason was on a bed, hooked up to monitors. Loretta stood beside him, holding his hand. Jason looked small and scared and pale. Mom, Jason whispered when he saw Hope. I'm here, baby. I'm here. The doctor entered. Ms. Powell, I'm Dr. Chen. Jason has a condition called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. It's genetic. His heart muscle has thickened, making it harder to pump blood. He had this as a baby. They said it resolved. Sometimes it appears to resolve, but actually just goes dormant. Jason's case has progressed. He's going to need medication. Whatever he needs, Hope said. Whatever it costs, I don't care. We'll take good care of him. The doctor left. Hope collapsed into the chair beside Jason's bed, holding her son's hand. Mom, I'm scared, Jason whispered. I know, baby. But you're going to be okay. The doctors are going to fix you. Is Nathan here? Hope looked up. Nathan stood in the doorway, looking devastated. I'm here, buddy, Nathan said, coming to the other side of the bed. Are you going to leave? Jason asked, his voice small. What? No. Never. When I got sick as a baby, my dad left. Mom said you didn't know about me. But now you know. And I'm sick again. Are you going to leave? Nathan felt tears streaming down his face. Jason, look at me. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be here through every test, every treatment, every single second. You're my son. And I don't leave my family. Promise? I promise. Jason nodded, his eyes drooping. The medication was making him sleepy. Hope and Nathan sat on either side of Jason's bed, watching him sleep. Loretta had gone to get coffee. This is my fault, Hope whispered. The genetic condition. It came from my side. My grandmother had heart problems. It's not your fault. I should have had him tested more regularly. Should have caught it sooner. You've done everything right. You've been an incredible mother. Hope looked at Nathan. I'm sorry. For the test. For making you prove yourself. For not trusting you. Don't apologize. I destroyed your trust 5 years ago. You had every right to protect yourself. But I went too far. I was so focused on protecting myself that I didn't see. You really do love him. You really are trying. I love him. And Hope, I love you. I never stopped. Before Hope could respond, the doctor returned. We have the test results. Jason's condition is serious but manageable with medication and lifestyle changes. However, there's a complication. He's going to need a transplant within the next few years, sooner if the condition deteriorates faster. A heart transplant? Hope's voice was barely audible. Yes, I'm sorry, but the good news is, with proper management, Jason can live a full normal life until we find a donor. After the doctor left, Hope broke down. Nathan held her while she sobbed. We'll get through this, Nathan said. Together. I can't lose him, he's everything. You won't. We won't. I'll use every resource I have, every connection, whatever it takes. They stayed at the hospital for 3 days while doctors ran more tests and adjusted Jason's medication. Nathan never left, called in favors, got consultations from the best pediatric cardiologists in the country, made lists of treatment options. Hope watched him with their son, watched him be patient when Jason was cranky from the medication, watched him read dinosaur books to distract Jason during blood draws, watched him be the father she'd always wished he'd been, and something inside Hope's carefully constructed walls finally cracked completely. On the third night, after Jason fell asleep, Hope and Nathan walked to the hospital cafeteria. "I need to tell you something," Hope said, "about the file in my office, the one with your name on it." "You don't have to." "I do, because you deserve the truth. That file? It's not a revenge plan, it's not evidence against you, it's letters." "Letters?" "Letters I wrote to you, over 5 years. Hundreds of them, everything I wanted to say but couldn't. About Jason, about us, about how much I missed you, even though I hated myself for it. I never sent them. I kept them in that file because it was the only way to feel connected to you." Nathan stared at her. "You missed me. Every day, even when I thought you'd violated my trust, even when I was planning to test you. I missed you so much it physically hurt, and I hated myself for it." "Hope, I'm not done. I also need to tell you that Tyler isn't just an actor I hired. He's my cousin, my mom's nephew. He moved here to help me with Jason after his own divorce. I paid him to be Jason's coach, but the rest, the friendship, the support, that was real. I asked him to play a role at the mall because I needed you to see us as a happy family. I needed to see your reaction. But Tyler's not a con artist. He's just a good guy who's been helping his cousin survive." Nathan absorbed this. So everything wasn't a manipulation. Some of it was. The mall, the timing, the staging. But my feelings for Jason, real. My need to protect him, real. My terror of trusting you again, very, very real. Nathan reached across the table and took Hope's hand. "I have something to confess too. When my father called that press conference, I had a choice. I could have let him reveal whatever he wanted about you and dealt with the fallout, or I could burn down my relationship with him forever. And Hope, I didn't even hesitate, because choosing you and Jason was the easiest decision I've ever made." "Nathan, I'm not done either. These 3 days, watching Jason be scared and brave and vulnerable, it made me realize something. I didn't just miss 5 years of his life. I missed 5 years with you. 5 years where we could have been fighting through this together. 5 years where you didn't have to be strong alone. And I can't get those years back. But I can make sure I'm here for every day going forward." Hope felt tears streaming down her face. "I'm still scared. So am I. But Hope, being scared together is better than being strong alone." They sat in the hospital cafeteria, holding hands across a plastic table, and for the first time in 5 years, Hope let herself believe that maybe, just maybe, they could survive this. The next morning, Jason was discharged with a bag full of medications and a list of restrictions. No intense physical activity, no soccer for now, regular checkups every month. Jason took it hard. "No soccer, but I love soccer." "I know, buddy," Nathan said, "but we're going to find other things you love just as much, I promise." "Like what?" "I don't know yet, but we'll figure it out together." They drove home, Hope, Nathan, Jason, and Loretta. When they pulled into Hope's driveway, Nathan said, "I should probably go. Let you guys get settled." "Stay," Jason said immediately. "Please?" Hope and Nathan looked at each other. She nodded. Nathan stayed for dinner, then for a movie. Then Jason fell asleep on the couch between them. "I should put him to bed," Hope whispered. They carried Jason upstairs together, tucked him in, stood watching him sleep. "Thank you," Hope said, "for staying, for being here. There's nowhere else I'd rather be." They went downstairs. Loretta had discreetly gone to her room. Nathan should have left then, should have gone back to his apartment, but he didn't want to, and Hope didn't ask him to. "I'm terrified," Hope said, sitting on the couch, "of Jason's condition, of trusting you, of getting hurt again." Nathan sat beside her. "I know. But I'm also tired. I'm so tired of being strong and guarded and angry. I'm tired of protecting myself. I just want... What do you want? I want us. The US we were before everything went wrong. I want to believe we can have that again. Then believe it. Hope looked at Nathan, and for the first time in 5 years, she let her walls come completely down. I love you, she whispered. I never stopped. Even when I tried to hate you, even when I thought you'd betrayed me, I never stopped loving you. Nathan kissed her, soft and gentle and full of 5 years of longing. When they pulled apart, Hope was crying again. We're going to mess this up, she said. We're going to fight and struggle and hurt each other. Probably, but we'll also figure it out. Together. Promise? I promise. They fell asleep on the couch, tangled together, and for the first time in 5 years, neither of them had nightmares. Chapter 6. 3 months passed. Jason's conditions stabilized with medication. He switched from soccer to chess, discovering he was brilliant at strategy. Nathan taught him to play, spending hours at the board, while Jason beat him consistently. You're letting me win, Jason accused. I'm really not. You're just better than me. Hope's company survived the Derek scandal. She promoted from within, built a stronger executive team, and her revenue actually increased. Raymond faced criminal charges. The trial was set for later in the year. Nathan had cut contact completely, and Nathan and Hope were learning to be together again, not the way they were 5 years ago. That relationship had been built on naivety and passion. This one was built on truth and hard-won trust. They went on dates, real dates where they talked about their fears and dreams and everything they'd missed. They argued sometimes about parenting strategies, about boundaries, about what the future looked like. But they worked through it. Nathan still lived in his apartment. They hadn't rushed back to living together, taking it slow, learning each other again. Then Hope got a call from the hospital. Ms. Powell, we found a donor match for Jason. The surgery can happen in 2 weeks. Hope felt the world tilt. 2 weeks? But I thought it would be years. A match became available. It's rare. We need to move quickly. Hope hung up and immediately called Nathan. They found a donor. Jason's surgery is in 2 weeks. I'm coming over. 20 minutes later, Nathan was at Hope's house. They sat Jason down together. Buddy, the doctors found a heart for you. You're going to have surgery. Jason's eyes went wide. Will it hurt? You'll be asleep. You won't feel anything. And when you wake up, you'll be able to run and play and do everything you used to do. Really? Really? Jason processed this. Then, I'm scared. That's okay. Being scared is normal. Will you both be there? Hope and Nathan looked at each other. Yes, both of us, the whole time. The next 2 weeks were a blur. Pre-op appointments, consultations, preparing Jason emotionally. Hope worked from home. Nathan barely worked at all. They spent evenings together. Hope, Nathan, Jason, Loretta, playing board games, watching movies, being a family. One night after Jason was asleep, Nathan said, I need to ask you something. Okay? After the surgery, when Jason's recovered, I want to marry you. Again. For real this time. Hope's breath caught. Nathan, I'm not asking now. I'm just telling you that's what I want. And I want you to think about it. No pressure, no timeline. Just know that's where my head is. Why wait until after surgery? Because I don't want you thinking I'm asking because I'm scared. I'm asking because I love you. Because I want a future with you and Jason. Because every day I spend with you makes me more certain that you're it for me. Hope felt tears burn. I want that too. Yeah? Yeah. But Nathan, I need you to know something. If Jason doesn't make it through surgery, don't say that. Listen, if Jason doesn't make it and we're together, I don't know if I could survive losing both of you. I don't know if our relationship would survive that grief. Then it's a good thing Jason's going to be fine. You can't know that. I do know it. Because Jason is strong. He's got your determination and my stubbornness. He's going to come through this surgery and live a long, healthy life. And then he's going to walk you down the aisle when we get married. Hope smiled through her tears. You're very sure of yourself. I'm sure of us. The day of surgery arrived. Hope and Nathan checked Jason into the hospital at 5 a.m. The surgical team prepped him. Jason was brave until the moment they wheeled him away. Mom? Dad? His voice was small. I love you. We love you too, baby, Hope said. We'll be right here when you wake up. They watched Jason disappear through the surgical doors. Then Hope collapsed against Nathan, sobbing. He has to be okay. He has to. He will be. The surgery was supposed to take 6 hours. Hope and Nathan sat in the waiting room, unable to speak, unable to do anything but hold each other. Loretta was there, Dante, Lucas. Even Colleen came, offering quiet support. 4 hours passed, then 5, 6. At hour 7 the surgeon emerged. Hope and Nathan stood so fast they knocked over chairs. Mr. and Mrs. Powell, it doesn't matter. How is he? The surgery went well. We had some complications with bleeding, which is why it took longer. But Jason's heart is strong. The transplant took. He's going to be in ICU for a few days, but he's going to make it. Hope's legs gave out. Nathan caught her. They held each other and cried. 2 hours later, they were allowed to see Jason. He was unconscious, hooked up to a dozen machines, but his new heart was beating strong on the monitor. Hope held his small hand. You did it, baby. You're so brave. Nathan stood on the other side of the bed, his own hand on Jason's arm. I'm so proud of you, buddy. Over the next 3 days, Jason slowly woke up. Groggy from medication, sore from surgery, but alive, healing. On the 4th day, he was transferred to a regular room, started physical therapy, complained about hospital food. Can I have pizza? Jason asked. Not yet, the nurse said, but soon. That's the worst news I've ever heard. Hope and Nathan laughed. If Jason was complaining, he was going to be fine. A week after surgery, Jason was discharged. Medications, restrictions for a few months. But otherwise, a clean bill of health. They drove home as a family. Jason fell asleep in the back seat, exhausted. We made it, Hope whispered. We did. Nathan, about what you said, about getting married. Yes. Ask me again, when you're ready, and I'll say yes. Nathan pulled the car over, turned to look at Hope. Are you serious? I'm serious. I love you. I trust you. I want to build a life with you. So when you're ready to ask, I'm ready to say yes. Nathan kissed her, deep and full of promise. From the back seat, Jason's sleepy voice. Are you guys kissing again? Gross. They both laughed. 3 months later, Jason was fully recovered. Back to chess, back to running around, his scar healing nicely. Nathan moved into Hope's house. They were a family in every way that mattered. One Saturday morning, Nathan made breakfast while Hope and Jason set the table. Perfectly normal, perfectly domestic. Jason, can you go get your grandmother? Nathan asked. Which one? Both. Jason ran off. Hope looked at Nathan suspiciously. What are you planning? You'll see. Loretta and Colleen appeared. Lucas arrived. Dante showed up. What's going on? Hope asked. Nathan got down on one knee right there in the kitchen. Hope Powell, 5 years ago, I was supposed to marry you, and I destroyed everything. I was a coward who let my father manipulate me into throwing away the best thing in my life. I missed Jason's first 5 years. I missed watching you build an empire. I missed being the partner you deserved. But I'm here now, and I'm not going anywhere. So I'm asking, will you marry me again? For real this time? Will you let me spend the rest of my life proving I'm worthy of you and Jason? Hope was crying. Yes. God, yes. Nathan slipped the ring on her finger. Everyone cheered. Jason made gagging sounds, but he was grinning. "When's the wedding?" Jason asked. "Whenever your mom wants." "Tomorrow," Hope said. "What? I'm serious. I don't want a big wedding. I don't want to wait. I just want to be your wife, so let's do it tomorrow. Small ceremony, just family." "You're sure?" "I'm sure." The next day, they had a ceremony in Hope's backyard. 20 people. Simple vows. Jason was the ring bearer. When Nathan kissed Hope, Jason cheered loudest of all. They were finally, truly, completely a family. Chapter 7. Marriage was harder than Hope expected. Not because she didn't love Nathan, but because blending their lives after 5 years of being independent was complicated. Nathan had opinions about Jason's bedtime. Hope had systems for running the household that Nathan disrupted. They argued about money, about parenting, about whose turn it was to do dishes. "I thought marriage would be easier the second time," Hope said one night after a particularly heated argument about Jason's homework schedule. "Why would you think that?" "Because we've already been through hell. This should be the easy part. Marriage is never easy. It's work, but it's worth it." "Is it? Because right now I'm wondering if we should have just stayed dating." Nathan pulled Hope close. "You don't mean that." "No, but I'm tired. Tired of working full-time and managing the household and trying to be a good wife and a good mother." "Then let me help more." "You do help." "Not enough, apparently." "Hope, tell me what you need." So Hope did. They had hard conversations, redistributed responsibilities, hired a housekeeper, made schedules. It got easier. 6 months after the wedding, they fell into a rhythm that actually worked. Then Hope found out she was pregnant. She stared at the test, hands shaking. They hadn't been trying, hadn't even discussed more kids, but here it was, 2 lines. Hope told Nathan that night after Jason was asleep. "I'm pregnant." Nathan's face went through shock, fear, and then joy. "We're having a baby. We're having a baby. How do you feel about it?" "Terrified, excited, overwhelmed, all of it." "Me too." This pregnancy was different from Jason's. Hope wasn't alone, wasn't scared she'd have to do it by herself. Nathan went to every appointment, held her hair when she had morning sickness, rubbed her feet when they swelled. They told Jason when Hope was 3 months along, "You're going to be a big brother." Jason's eyes went wide. "Really? Really? Is it going to be a boy or a girl?" "We don't know yet. Do you have a preference?" "A brother, so I can teach him chess." "What if it's a sister?" "Then I'll teach her chess. Girls can play chess too. Mom's really good at it." Hope laughed. "Thanks, buddy." The pregnancy progressed smoothly. No complications. Hope worked until she was 8 months pregnant, then finally agreed to maternity leave. At 38 weeks, Hope went into labor. This time, Nathan was there for everything, held her hand, breathed with her, told her she was strong. After 12 hours, their daughter was born. Grace Colleen Ty, healthy, screaming, perfect. When Jason met his sister, he stared at her with awe. "She's so small." "You were this small once." "Can I hold her?" They helped Jason hold Grace. He looked down at her with such gentle love that Hope started crying. "I'm going to protect you forever," Jason whispered to his sister. Hope and Nathan looked at each other over their children and knew they'd finally gotten it right. Life settled into beautiful chaos. 2 kids, 2 careers, marriage, family dinners, soccer games and chess tournaments, birthday parties and ordinary Tuesdays. Grace grew into a fierce, fearless toddler. Jason became her protector and favorite person. Nathan and Hope learned to navigate parenthood together. It wasn't perfect. They still argued, still struggled, still had days where they wondered if they were doing it right. But they had each other, and that made everything possible. When Grace was 2, Hope got a call. Her lawyer. "Raymond Ty was convicted. He's going to prison for 15 years. Hope hung up and told Nathan. "How do you feel?" Nathan asked. "I don't know. Part of me is glad he's facing consequences. Part of me is sad for you. He's still your father. He stopped being my father the moment he chose manipulation over honesty. I'm not sad. I'm relieved. He can't hurt anyone else now." That night, they got another call. Raymond's lawyer. "Mr. Ty left a will. He's left everything to your son Jason, with conditions." "What conditions?" "The money becomes Jason's when he turns 18, but only if you and Hope stay married until then. If you divorce, everything goes to charity." After the lawyer hung up, Nathan and Hope looked at each other. "He's still trying to control us," Hope said. "Let him try. We're not getting divorced." "How can you be so sure?" "Because I chose you. Every day, I choose you. And I'll keep choosing you for the rest of my life. My father can't manipulate that." Hope believed him. Finally, fully, completely believed him. They never talked about Raymond's money. Let it sit in trust, lived their lives. Jason and Grace grew. Hope's company expanded. Nathan's consulting firm thrived. They were happy, not perfect, but happy. And that was everything. Chapter 8. When Jason was 12 and Grace was 7, Colleen got sick. Cancer. Aggressive. Fast-moving. Nathan took it hard. His mother had been the one person from his old life who'd supported him unconditionally. "I can't lose her," Nathan said, crying in Hope's arms. "We're going to fight this, all of us." Colleen started treatment. Chemo, radiation, the works. Hope and Nathan visited constantly. Jason and Grace made cards, read to their grandmother, made her laugh even when she felt terrible. But the cancer was relentless. 6 months after diagnosis, Colleen was in hospice. Nathan sat by her bedside holding her hand. Hope was there. The kids had just left with Loretta. "I'm proud of you," Colleen whispered. "You became the man I always knew you could be." "Because of you." "No, because of Hope. She made you fight for something real." Colleen looked at Hope. "Take care of him. He's stubborn, but he's got a good heart." "I will. And Nathan, don't let my death break you. Don't let it break your family. Promise me." "I promise." Colleen died that night, peacefully, surrounded by family. Nathan broke completely. Hope held him while he sobbed, let him grieve, took over everything, the funeral arrangements, the kids, the house, work. Jason and Grace didn't understand why their dad was so sad. Hope tried to explain. "He lost his mom. It hurts really bad." "Like how you lost your dad?" Jason asked. "Yes, exactly like that." "Will he be okay?" "Eventually, but it's going to take time." Nathan spent 2 weeks barely functional. Then slowly, he started coming back, going through Colleen's things, sharing stories with the kids, remembering the good times instead of just the pain. One night, 3 weeks after Colleen's death, Nathan said, "I understand now." "Understand what?" "Why you were so angry when I abandoned you. Loss is devastating, but losing someone while also feeling abandoned, that's unbearable. And I did that to you, made you feel abandoned while you were pregnant and terrified. I'm so sorry." "Nathan, we've moved past." "I know, but I needed to say it. Because going through this with you by my side, I can't imagine how you survived going through Jason's birth alone. You're the strongest person I've ever known." Hope held Nathan. "We survived, both of us, and now we're here. Now we're here." Time passed. The grief softened. Nathan started living again. Then Hope got another call. Derek Moss. "I know you don't want to hear from me, but I need to tell you something. Raymond gave me documents before he went to prison. Insurance, he called it. Information about Hope Powell that could destroy her." "What information?" "I don't know. Sealed envelope. He said to open it if you or Nathan ever came after his legacy. But I'm dying. Cancer. I have maybe 6 months. And I can't die knowing I'm sitting on something that could hurt you." Where's the envelope? I'll bring it to you, tomorrow. Hope told Nathan. This is it, Raymond's last manipulation. Whatever's in that envelope, it's designed to destroy us. Then we burn it. We don't even open it. What if it's something important, something we need to know? Hope, nothing my father has to say matters anymore. The next day, Derek arrived. He looked terrible, thin, pale, sick. He handed Hope an envelope. I'm sorry for everything I did, for being his spy, for almost destroying your company. I was greedy and stupid. Why are you doing this, giving us the envelope? Because I'm dying, and I don't want to die a coward. Derek left. Hope and Nathan stared at the envelope. We should burn it, Nathan said. What if it's medical information about Jason? What if Raymond knew something about the genetic condition we need? Nathan hesitated. Open it. Inside was a single document, DNA test results. For Jason, Nathan Ty was listed as the father. But there was a note in Raymond's handwriting. Insurance, if needed, claim the test was falsified, proof attached. I don't understand, Hope said. Nathan read further. His face went white. My father took Jason's DNA without permission, ran a test, then created a fake document suggesting Jason isn't mine. He was going to use it to destroy us if we ever threatened him. But the test shows you are the father. Right, but he also created a fake version that shows I'm not. If we'd ever gone public against him, he was going to release the fake test and claim Jason wasn't mine. Make me look like an idiot. Make you look like a liar. Destroy our family. Hope felt sick. He was going to take Jason away from you. He was going to make me question everything, make me doubt you all over again. Nathan crumpled the papers. But he's in prison. He can't hurt us. And this document? It's nothing. They burned it, watched it turn to ash. That's the last of him, Nathan said. The last of his manipulation. He's gone. Finally. Hope and Nathan held each other, grateful to be on the other side of Raymond's control. Life continued. Jason started high school. Grace started soccer. Hope and Nathan celebrated 10 years since the mall encounter. 10 years, Hope said. Can you believe it? Best 10 years of my life. Even with all the pain, especially with the pain, because we survived it together. They were happy, truly, deeply happy. And then Jason turned 18. Chapter 9. The day Jason turned 18, the lawyers called. The trust is ready to be transferred. Jason Powell is now the recipient of Raymond Ty's estate, approximately $180 million. Hope hung up and told Jason. That's a lot of money, Jason said. It is. What do you want to do with it? Jason thought for a long moment. I want to donate most of it to heart research, to help kids like me. That's beautiful, Jason. But I want to keep some, for college, and for Grace's college, and to start a foundation, for kids whose parents can't afford medical care. Hope started crying. Your father would be so proud. Which one? Both. Dennis would love that you're helping people. Nathan loves that you're using your grandfather's blood money for good. Jason hugged his mom. I learned from the best. The foundation launched 6 months later. The Dennis Powell Foundation for Pediatric Care. It paid medical bills for families who couldn't afford treatment. Jason managed it while attending college. Grace helped during summers. Nathan and Hope provided business guidance. Raymond's evil legacy became something beautiful. But then Jason came home for Christmas break with an announcement. I found something about Grandpa Raymond, about why he really hated Grandpa Dennis. What did you find? Nathan asked. Dennis wasn't just Raymond's business partner. He was Raymond's half-brother. The room went silent. What? Hope whispered. Their father had an affair. Dennis was the result. When their father died, he left half the company to Dennis. Raymond couldn't handle being equals with his bastard half-brother, so he destroyed him. Nathan felt sick. My father killed his own brother. Half-brother. But yeah. Hope looked at Nathan. That means Jason is Dennis Powell's grandson, through me and through you. We're related. Jason nodded. Distantly, fourth cousins or something. But yeah. Does this change anything? Grace asked. Everyone looked at the 9-year-old. Does it change that we're a family? Grace asked. Because we were a family before we knew. So why would it change now? She was right. Nothing changed. They were still a family, still loved each other, still were building a life together. But knowing the truth, knowing Raymond had destroyed his own half-brother out of jealousy and pride, made everything make sense. He was a monster, Nathan said. He was a man who made terrible choices, Hope corrected, and we're making different ones. That spring, Jason graduated from college, started working at the foundation full-time. Grace was excelling in soccer. Hope's company was valued at over $200 million. Nathan's consulting firm was thriving. They were successful, happy, together. Then one night, Hope got a call from Dante. You need to come to Mom's house, now. Hope and Nathan rushed over, found Loretta sitting at the kitchen table, crying. Mom, what's wrong? I have something to tell you, something I should have told you years ago. What is it? Loretta looked at Hope with tears streaming. When you were pregnant with Jason, Raymond came to see me. We know. He tried to pay me off. That's not all. He threatened me. Said if you ever told Nathan about the baby, he'd have me investigated for tax fraud. He'd planted evidence in my finances. I'd go to prison. Hope felt the world tilt. What? I'm so sorry. I wanted you to tell Nathan, wanted you to fight for your family, but I was terrified, and I let my fear control you. I'm the reason you didn't tell Nathan about Jason, not your pride, my cowardice. Hope couldn't speak. Nathan said, Did you tell the police? This is extortion. The evidence is gone. Raymond had it destroyed before he went to prison. But I lived with this guilt for 18 years. I couldn't die without telling you the truth. Hope hugged her mother. It's okay. We're okay now. But I cost you 5 years. You were protecting yourself. I don't blame you. But later that night, Hope broke down. My mother kept that secret for 18 years, lived with that guilt, all because of Raymond. He destroyed so many lives, Nathan said. Even after death, we're still discovering his damage. When does it end? When do we finally get to be free of him? Maybe never completely. But Hope, we're as free as we're going to get. We have each other. We have our kids. We have a life we built despite everything he did. That's winning. Hope wanted to believe it, but Raymond's ghost seemed to haunt them. Then Grace came home from school with news. There's a girl in my class. Her name is Brooke Ashford. Nathan and Hope froze. Ashford? Nathan asked. Yeah, she's new. Her mom just moved here. Her mom's name is Brooke too. The teacher said she used to live here but moved away. Now she's back. Brooke, Nathan's ex-fiancée, the woman he'd abandoned at the altar 10 years ago. This can't be a coincidence, Hope said. Maybe it is. Maybe she just moved back. But 2 days later, Brooke showed up at Nathan's office. Hello, Nathan. Nathan stood frozen. Brooke, you're back. I'm back. I wanted to talk to you about something important. I'm married, happily. If you're here to... I'm not here to win you back. I'm here because my daughter has been asking questions about her father. Nathan's blood ran cold. Her father? You, Nathan. She's yours. The world stopped. That's impossible. We did, once. 3 weeks before you walked out. You were drunk. I was desperate to save our relationship. It happened once. But you never said, because I was humiliated. You abandoned me at our wedding. I found out I was pregnant a month later. I moved away, raised her alone. But now she's asking questions. She's friends with Grace. She knows Grace's father is Nathan Ty, and she wants to know why her mother won't tell her who her father is. Nathan felt like he was going to be sick. You're sure she's mine? DNA test. I'll show you. Brooke pulled out a document. Clear as day. Nathan Ty was the father. Why are you telling me now? Because I'm dying. Same cancer that took your mother. I have maybe a year. And I can't die without telling my daughter who her father is. She deserves to know you. Nathan couldn't speak. I'm not asking you to raise her. I'm not asking for money. I just want her to know you before I'm gone, so she doesn't grow up wondering. I need to talk to my wife. I understand. Here's my number. Call me when you're ready. Brooke left. Nathan sat in his office, world crumbling. He had another daughter, with Brooke, a daughter he'd never known about. He drove home, told Hope everything. Hope stared at him. You have another child. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know. But you slept with her. I was drunk. It was a mistake. I thought I could make the relationship work. It was before I saw you at the mall, before everything changed. Hope stood up, paced the room. So let me get this straight. We have Jason, who you didn't know about for 5 years. We have Grace, who was planned. And now we have a 10-year-old daughter you also didn't know about. How many more secret children are out there, Nathan? That's not fair. Isn't it? Because from where I'm standing, you have a pattern of not knowing about your own kids. Hope, please. I need space. I need to think. Hope, just give me space. Hope left. Drove to Dante's house. Broke down crying. He has another daughter, with Brooke. And I don't know if I can handle this. What are you going to do? I don't know. Part of me wants to run. Part of me wants to stay and fight. Part of me just wants to scream. What does your heart say? My heart says that little girl deserves to know her father, that Grace deserves to know her half-sister, that Jason deserves to know he has another sibling, but my heart also says I'm terrified. Terrified this will break us. Terrified I'm not strong enough for this. Hope, you've survived everything. You'll survive this too. Will I? Because I feel like I'm breaking. Hope stayed at Dante's for 3 days. Nathan called constantly, texted, begged her to come home. Finally, Hope called him back. We need to meet, just us. They met at a coffee shop, neutral ground. I'm sorry, Nathan said immediately. I should have told you about that night with Brooke. I should have. You didn't know you slept with her. You were drunk. I can't blame you for that. Then what are you mad about? I'm not mad. I'm terrified. Nathan, every time we get stable, something from your past explodes. Your father, your family, now this. And I don't know if I can keep surviving these explosions. So what are you saying? I'm saying I need you to make a choice. That little girl needs a father. She deserves to know you. But if you bring her into our family, everything changes. Grace will have a sister she didn't expect. Jason will have another sibling. Our family will expand in a way that's complicated and messy. So you need to decide, are you ready for that? Are you ready to be a father to 3 children instead of 2? What if I'm not? Then you walk away from Brooke's daughter, and you live with that choice. And what about us? Us? Nathan, I don't know. I love you, but I'm exhausted. I'm tired of fighting, tired of surviving, tired of your past showing up and destroying our present. So you want a divorce? I don't know what I want. I just know I can't keep doing this. They sat in silence for a long time. Then Nathan said, I want to meet her, Brooke's daughter. I want to know her before I make any decisions. Okay. Will you come with me? Hope hesitated. Then, yes, because that little girl deserves to see what a real family looks like, even if ours is falling apart. They met Brooke and her daughter, Lily, at a park the next day. Lily looked like Brooke but had Nathan's eyes. She was quiet, shy, curious. Hi, Nathan said. I'm Nathan. I know, Mom told me. You're my dad. I am. I'm sorry I didn't know about you before. It's okay. Mom said you didn't know. They talked for an hour, about school, about soccer, about chess. Lily was smart, funny, kind, and Nathan felt his heart break all over again. Another child he'd missed years with, another daughter he should have known. When it was time to leave, Lily hugged Nathan. "Will I see you again?" Nathan looked at Hope. She nodded. "Yes, you'll see me again." That night, Nathan and Hope sat in their bedroom. "She's wonderful," Hope said. "She is. You have to be in her life, you know that, right?" "I do. But Hope, what does that mean for us?" "I don't know. I just know that little girl deserves a father, and you're her father. And Grace? Grace deserves to know her sister. We'll figure it out. Are we going to be okay?" Hope looked at Nathan, really looked at him. "I don't know. Ask me again in a year." It wasn't the answer Nathan wanted, but it was honest, and honesty was all they had left. Chapter 10, 1 year later. Hope stood in her kitchen watching through the window. Nathan and Jason were playing chess while Grace and Lily kicked a soccer ball around the backyard. Lily came over every weekend now. She was part of their family in a way that felt natural despite the complicated beginning. Brooke had died 8 months ago, peacefully, surrounded by family. Lily had moved in with her aunt, but Nathan had formal visitation rights. They were navigating it. Hope and Nathan had been to marriage counseling for 6 months, working through the hurt, the resentment, the exhaustion. It hadn't been easy. There were days Hope wanted to walk away, days Nathan thought they'd never make it, but they kept showing up, kept fighting, kept choosing each other even when it would have been easier to quit. "Mom, are you crying?" Grace appeared in the kitchen doorway. "Happy tears, baby, just watching our family. Our weird, complicated family. The best kind of family." Grace hugged her mom, then ran back outside. Nathan came inside. "Hey, you okay?" "Yeah, just thinking. About 10 years ago, when you saw me at that mall, how everything changed. Best day of my life." "Really? Not our wedding? Not when Grace was born?" "Those were incredible. But that day at the mall, that was the day I woke up. The day I started actually living instead of just existing." Hope smiled. "Even though I made you prove yourself for months?" "Especially because of that. You made me earn my way back. You made me become the man I should have been from the beginning." Nathan pulled Hope close. "I know this year has been hard. With Lily, with grief, with everything. But I want you to know, I'm not giving up on us." "I know, I'm not giving up either." "Yeah? Yeah, Nathan, we've survived everything, your father's manipulation, my revenge plot, medical emergencies, secret children, actual death. If we can survive all that, we can survive anything. So we're okay. We're better than okay. We're us." They stood in their kitchen holding each other while their children played outside. Jason was studying engineering, planning to design medical equipment. Grace was considering professional soccer. Lily was discovering a love for art. They were all thriving, all finding their paths, all part of this weird, complicated, beautiful family. That night, after the kids were asleep, Nathan and Hope sat on their back patio. "I have something to tell you," Hope said. "Should I be worried?" "No, I'm shutting down the foundation." Nathan sat up. "What? Why?" "Because Jason doesn't need me hovering. He's ready to run it himself, and I'm ready to do something else." "Like what?" "I want to teach real estate development at the university, help young people who are where I was, broke, ambitious, full of dreams." Nathan smiled. "That's perfect." "You think so?" "I think you're going to change lives." "What about you? Any big plans?" "Actually, yes. Lucas and I are shutting down the consulting firm." "What?" "We're starting something new, a non-profit that helps families going through custody battles, provides free legal services, makes sure kids don't get lost in the system like Jason almost did." Hope started crying. "Nathan, that's beautiful. We've been given so much. It's time to give back." They sat in comfortable silence. Then Hope said, Do you ever wonder what would have happened if you hadn't seen me at the mall that day? Every day, and I'm grateful I did. Even though it's been hard, especially because it's been hard. Easy doesn't build character. Easy doesn't create bonds that last. We went through fire together, and we came out stronger. We did, didn't we? We really did. Hope leaned against Nathan. I love you more now than I did 10 years ago. Same, because I know you now, really know you. Not just the woman I fell in love with, but the warrior who survived, the mother who built an empire, the partner who didn't give up on me, even when she should have. You know what I think? Hope said. What? I think your father did us a favor. How do you figure? Because his manipulation forced us apart, and being apart taught us who we really were, what we were really made of. When we came back together, we weren't naive kids anymore. We were people who'd survived hell, and that made our love unbreakable. So Raymond's cruelty made us stronger. In a twisted way, yes. Nathan thought about that. I still hate him for what he did. Me too, but I'm grateful for what we became because of it. They fell asleep on the patio, tangled together under a blanket. Inside, Jason was studying for finals. Grace was drawing soccer plays in her notebook. Lily was finishing a painting of their family. 4 kids, 2 parents, one messy, complicated, beautiful life. The next morning, Hope woke to Jason shaking her shoulder. "Mum! Dad! Wake up! I have news!" They stumbled inside. Grace and Lily were already at the kitchen table. "What's going on?" Nathan asked. "I got accepted to Harvard Medical School." Hope screamed. Nathan grabbed Jason in a bear hug. Grace and Lily cheered. "I thought you were doing engineering," Hope said. "I changed my mind. I want to be a pediatric cardiologist. Help kids like me." Hope was crying. "Your grandfather Dennis would be so proud." "Both my grandfathers," Jason said. "The good parts of them, anyway." That night, the whole family celebrated. Dante, Loretta, Lucas and his wife. Even Tyler flew in from California where he'd retired. Over dinner, Grace asked, "Dad, do you ever regret walking out of your wedding?" Everyone went quiet. Nathan looked at Brooke's daughter, at Lily, then at Grace, then at Jason, then at Hope. "Not for 1 second. That decision led to all of you, led to this family, led to this life. Regret that? Never." "Even though you hurt Lily's mom?" Grace pressed. Nathan looked at Lily. "I'm sorry I hurt your mother. I'm sorry I wasn't there for your first 10 years. But I'm here now, and I'm going to be here for the rest of your life." Lily smiled. "I know." The celebration went late into the night. When everyone finally left, Hope and Nathan cleaned up together. 10 years, Hope said. "Can you believe we made it?" Honestly, no. There were so many moments I thought we'd break. Me too. But we didn't. No, we didn't. Nathan pulled Hope close. "Want to know a secret?" "Always." "I'm glad it was hard. I'm glad we struggled. Because every time we almost broke and didn't, it proved something." "What did it prove?" "That this is real. That we're not together because it's easy or convenient. We're together because we chose each other, again and again, through every possible obstacle." Hope kissed him. "I'd choose you again too. Every time." They stood in their kitchen, in the life they'd built, surrounded by evidence of their survival, photos on the walls, Jason's acceptance letter on the fridge, Grace's soccer schedule, Lily's artwork, proof of a family that shouldn't have worked but did. 10 years ago, Nathan Ty had walked into a mall heading to his wedding reception and saw his ex with a little boy who shocked him. That moment had destroyed his old life and built something infinitely better in its place. Hope Powell had spent 5 years building an empire alone, raising their son, proving she didn't need anyone. Then Nathan had returned and she'd learned that strength wasn't just about surviving alone. Sometimes it was about being brave enough to trust again. They'd both made terrible choices, both hurt each other, both carried scars that would never fully fade, but they'd survived. Together. And that was everything, because the greatest love stories aren't the ones without pain. They're the ones where people choose love anyway, where they fight through fire and come out stronger, where they prove that broken things can be healed if both people are willing to do the work. Nathan and Hope had done the work, and their reward was this: a messy, complicated, absolutely beautiful family, 4 kids who were thriving, careers that made a difference, a love that had been tested in every possible way and survived. 10 years after that moment in the mall, they finally had their happy ending. Not perfect, not easy, not without scars, but theirs. And that made it the greatest love story of all. Epilogue. The steady beat. The monitor in the OR hummed, a sound that had once been the soundtrack of Jason's own survival. Now he was the one holding the scalpel. He looked down at the 7-year-old on the table. "I've got you," Jason whispered, a promise passed down from a father who had once stayed when it was easier to run. In the waiting room, Nathan and Hope sat hip to hip. Nathan's hair was silver, and Hope's face bore the fine lines of a life lived intensely, but they held hands with the grip of 2 people who had survived a shipwreck. "He's doing it, Hope," Nathan said, watching the surgical doors. "He's fixing a heart." Hope leaned her head on his shoulder. "He's been fixing ours for 20 years, Nathan." The doors finally swung open. Jason emerged, tired but triumphant. He didn't need words. He simply nodded. The same nod Nathan had given Hope the day he chose her over his fortune. As they walked out of the hospital into the cool night air, the Ty Powell family was no longer a headline or a scandal. They were just people. Nathan looked at the city lights, and then at his wife. The ghosts of the past, the lies, the secret tests, and the man who tried to break them had finally stopped screaming. In the silence of the night, there was only the steady, rhythmic beat of a family that had refused to stay broken. The end.